What if humans vanished from the planet, like, poof, gone tomorrow? All 7 billion of us just disappeared. What would happen next? Who would take our place? Today, we are going to answer the biggest question in the history of the world: which animal will rule the Earth after us? We're going to spend the next few minutes exploring what Earth would look like in a million years, and I've brought in the world's top scientists to help us figure out which species has what it takes to build the next global civilization. This is going to be insane. We've got 5 incredible contenders, each with a unique shot at becoming the new dominant species. Think of it like the ultimate battle royale for the entire planet. From the smartest apes to creatures in the deepest oceans, we're going to break down their strengths, their weaknesses, and their ultimate potential to take over. I literally can't wait to see who comes out on top in this hypothetical challenge for global domination. Before we dive in, I need you to do me a massive favor. If you think this is the craziest video idea ever, smash that like button, hit subscribe so you don't miss our next video, and right now, pause this video and comment down below which animal you think could rule the Earth. I'm going to be reading every single one of your comments to see who gets it right. Let's go. Alright, first up we have the most obvious contenders, the great apes. I'm talking about chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, and orangutans. These guys are literally our closest living relatives in the entire animal kingdom. We share like 98% of our DNA with chimps. That's just crazy to think about. It's like they're our little cousins who just haven't gotten around to inventing iPhones yet. But could they? If humans disappeared, the apes would be in a prime position. Think about it. They already have the basic toolkit. They have opposable thumbs, which is a huge deal. That means they can grab stuff, use tools, and manipulate their environment. We've seen them use sticks to get termites and rocks to crack nuts. That's basically Stone Age technology right there, people. They're already on the first step of the ladder that we climbed millions of years ago, and their intelligence is off the charts. They can learn sign language, they can solve complex puzzles, and they even show signs of culture, passing down knowledge from one generation to the next. I'm telling you, these guys are smart. If you put a chimp in an escape room, they'd probably get out faster than half my friends. They have the cognitive foundation to build something incredible. Socially, they're already way ahead of the game. They live in complex groups with hierarchies, alliances, and even politics. They cooperate to hunt, they protect each other, and they raise their young together. This social structure is the bedrock of any civilization. You can't build a city by yourself, right? You need a team. Apes already have their teams assembled and ready to go. So, what's stopping them right now? Well, us. Humans have taken over all the best real estate and pushed apes into smaller and smaller habitats. But in our challenge, we're gone. Suddenly, the whole planet is their backyard. They could expand out of the forests and jungles, exploring new territories and adapting to new challenges. Imagine gorillas walking through the ruins of an abandoned New York City. That's epic. Without human pressure, their populations would explode. More apes mean more chances for smart individuals to be born. More groups mean more opportunities for social experiments and new ways of living. It's a numbers game, and with us out of the picture, the odds would seriously be in their favor. They wouldn't have to compete with 7 billion humans for resources anymore. The key here is evolutionary pressure. With a whole new world to conquer, the smartest, most adaptable apes would be the ones to survive and reproduce. Over thousands of generations, that could lead to bigger brains, more advanced tool use, and maybe even more complex language. They are literally standing on the doorstep of what we achieved. They have the hands, they have the brains, and they have the social skills. It's the perfect trifecta for a species looking to take over. They wouldn't have to start from scratch like some other animals. They'd be picking up right where we left off, just a few million years behind schedule. They'd find our abandoned cities, our tools, our everything. Could they figure out how to use what we left behind? Maybe not at first, but imagine a group of chimps stumbling upon a shed full of old tools. A hammer isn't that different from a rock, a crowbar not so different from a sturdy stick. It would be a slow process, but the potential for them to reverse engineer our success is absolutely massive. So, Team Ape is a powerhouse contender. They have the most direct path to filling the niche that we left vacant. They are the heirs apparent to planet Earth. The question isn't if they could evolve to our level, but how long it would take. 1,000,000 years? That seems like more than enough time for our primate cousins to build their own empire. Okay, moving on from the land, let's dive deep into the ocean for our next contender, dolphins. And listen, if you think apes are smart, you haven't seen anything yet. Dolphins have some of the biggest brains relative to their body size in the entire animal kingdom, even bigger than some apes. These guys are the certified geniuses of the sea. Their world is entirely different from ours, but don't let that fool you. Their intelligence is just as complex, if not more so. We use sight as our primary sense, but dolphins use sound. They have built-in sonar called echolocation, which is so precise they can see inside other fish or even detect a tiny BB pellet from 50 feet away. It's like having superpowers. Imagine navigating the world with sound. This leads to their communication, which is on another level. They use a huge range of clicks, whistles, and body movements to talk to each other. Scientists believe they have names for each other, they gossip, and they can coordinate complex group activities with incredible precision. They literally have their own language, we just haven't been able to translate it yet, and they are master problem solvers. There are stories of dolphins cooperating with fishermen, herding fish into nets in exchange for a share of the catch. They teach each other new hunting techniques, like using sea sponges to protect their noses while foraging on the sea floor. This is cultural transmission, just like with the apes, but happening in a completely alien environment. Now you might be thinking, but they don't have hands. How can they build a civilization? And that is the biggest challenge for Team Dolphin. Without hands, you can't build skyscrapers or forge steel. But maybe that's thinking like a human. Who says the next dominant civilization has to look like ours? Their path to dominance would be completely different. Instead of manipulating the physical world, they might focus on mastering the biological one. Imagine dolphins learning to farm specific types of seaweed or coral. Or what if they learned to domesticate other sea creatures? It sounds like science fiction, but with their intelligence and a million years to work on it, who knows what's possible? They could become masters of marine bioengineering. Their cities wouldn't be made of concrete, but of sound and social connections. They could create vast acoustic networks spanning entire oceans, sharing information in real time. Their empire would be an empire of knowledge, not of physical structures. It would be a civilization that we could barely even comprehend because it's not built on stuff, but on thought and communication. And the oceans are huge. 70% of the planet is water. With humans gone, threats like pollution, fishing nets, and ship noise would disappear. The oceans would become healthier, and dolphin populations could thrive and expand into every corner of the marine world. They would be the undisputed kings of the largest habitat on Earth. Their main limitation, the lack of hands, could actually be their greatest evolutionary driver. The pressure to overcome this physical barrier could lead to some insane adaptations. Maybe they evolved prehensile fins over hundreds of thousands of years, or maybe they developed their psionic or acoustic abilities to a point where they can manipulate objects from a distance. It's a long shot, but evolution is weird. So, Team Dolphin presents a totally different vision for a ruling species. Not a civilization of builders, but a civilization of thinkers, communicators, and masters of the vast, three-dimensional world of the ocean. They prove that you don't need hands to be intelligent, and you don't need cities to rule the world. Their reign would be subtle, powerful, and almost invisible to any land dweller. Our next contender is one of my personal favorites because it is the ultimate wild card. I'm talking about the octopus. These things are basically aliens living here on Earth. They are mollusks, related to snails and clams, yet they have intelligence that rivals mammals. It's one of the most incredible examples of convergent evolution on the planet. They prove that there's more than one way to build a brain. Octopuses are escape artists. They are legendary for their ability to solve puzzles, open jars from the inside, and squeeze their entire boneless bodies through any opening larger than their beak. This isn't just instinct, it's active, on-the-fly problem solving. They can observe a problem and figure out a unique solution. That's a sign of a seriously advanced mind, and they have not one, not two, but 9 brains, a central brain in their head, and a mini brain in each of their 8 arms. Each arm can act independently, tasting, touching, and manipulating objects on its own. Imagine being able to multitask by having each of your limbs work on a different puzzle simultaneously. It's a level of distributed intelligence that we can barely imagine. Plus, they have those arms. 8 of them, with suckers. While dolphins lack hands, octopuses are the ultimate manipulators. They can use tools, they can build shelters out of rocks and shells, and they have a level of dexterity that is unmatched in the invertebrate world. They have the physical ability to interact with and change their environment in a very direct human-like way. Their camouflage ability is also a form of intelligence. They can change their skin color and texture in an instant to perfectly match their surroundings or to communicate with other octopuses. It's a complex visual language written on their own bodies. This ability to instantly alter their appearance for communication or concealment is a massive advantage. So, what's holding them back? Their biggest problem is their lifespan. Most octopuses only live for a few years and they die after they reproduce. This makes it incredibly difficult to pass down knowledge from one generation to the next. The smartest octopus in the world can't teach its kids anything because it won't be around to see them grow up. This is a massive, massive hurdle for building a civilization. But in our million-year challenge, this could change. Evolution could favor octopuses with longer lifespans. If a genetic mutation allowed an octopus to live for 10 or 20 years, it would have a huge advantage. It could accumulate knowledge and, crucially, teach it to its offspring. This single evolutionary step would be the spark that could ignite an octopus revolution. Imagine a future where octopuses have overcome this limitation. They could form communities, passing down tool-making techniques and building more and more complex underwater structures. They could become the first invertebrate species to develop a true technological culture. With their intelligence and physical abilities, their potential is almost limitless once the lifespan problem is solved. They are also incredibly adaptable. They are found in every ocean, from shallow coral reefs to the deep, dark abyss. With humans gone, they could expand and diversify, filling new ecological niches. Different environments would lead to different adaptations, creating a wide variety of intelligent octopus species, each with unique skills and abilities. Team Octopus is the dark horse in this race. They have the brains and the hands, but they're held back by their biology. But a million years is a long, long time. Long enough for evolution to work its magic and unlock their terrifying, brilliant potential. The idea of a planet ruled by a civilization of intelligent, tool-using cephalopods is the stuff of science fiction, and it's absolutely awesome. Let's move back to the land for a contender that plays a completely different game. We're not talking about individual intelligence here. We're talking about the ultimate collective ants. Forget one smart animal. Imagine a single consciousness made up of trillions of individuals. That's the potential of the ants. They are a superorganism. There are more than 12,000 species of ants, and they live on every continent except Antarctica. Their total biomass is estimated to be equal to or greater than the total biomass of all human beings. We think we run this planet, but in many ways it's already the planet of the ants. They are everywhere, and they are incredibly successful. Their strength isn't in the individual ant, which is pretty simple. Their strength is in the colony. An ant colony can solve problems that no single ant could ever comprehend. They can build massive, complex structures with ventilation systems, nurseries, and food storage chambers. They can wage organized warfare. They can even practice agriculture, farming fungi or herding aphids like cattle. This is all achieved through a simple set of rules and chemical communication. Ants leave pheromone trails to communicate everything from the location of food to the presence of danger. It's a highly efficient, decentralized network. There's no single leader giving orders. The intelligence emerges from the interactions of the entire collective. It's a hive mind in the truest sense. So, if humans vanished, what would happen? The ants would just keep going. The fall of human civilization would barely be a blip on their radar. In fact, it would be a massive opportunity. Our abandoned cities, our farms, our garbage dumps, all of it would become a gigantic new resource for them to exploit. Their numbers would explode, they would spread into new environments, their colonies growing to unprecedented sizes. Imagine an ant super colony that spans an entire continent with trillions upon trillions of individuals all working as one. This isn't even science fiction. Some super colonies in the real world already stretch for thousands of kilometers. Their path to dominance isn't through developing technology in the way we think of it. They won't be building spaceships. Instead, they would dominate by perfecting their control over the planet's ecosystems. They are master ecological engineers. They turn over soil, disperse seeds, and control insect populations. A world dominated by ants would be a world where the very landscape is shaped to benefit the colony. Could they evolve greater intelligence? Maybe not on an individual level, but the collective intelligence could become more sophisticated. Over a million years, their chemical communication could evolve to carry more complex information, allowing them to coordinate on an even grander scale. They could become a single planet-spanning intelligence. Their limitation is their lack of individual creativity and adaptability. They are programmed to follow the rules of the colony. A single ant can't just decide to try something new. This makes them vulnerable to sudden, unexpected changes in the environment that their programming isn't equipped to handle, but their sheer numbers provide a buffer against this. Team Ant is the brute force contender. They wouldn't outthink their opponents, they would outwork them, out-reproduce them, and overwhelm them. Their civilization would be one of perfect order and efficiency, a global empire built on the foundation of countless tiny workers, all sacrificing for the good of the whole. It's a terrifying and awe-inspiring vision for the future of Earth. For our final contender, we're taking to the skies. And we're not talking about just any bird, we're talking about one of the most intelligent animals on the entire planet, the raven. These birds are part of the corvid family, which are basically the flying apes of the bird world. Their intelligence is absolutely staggering and often compared to that of a 7-year-old human child. Ravens are master problem solvers. There are famous experiments where a raven has to complete an 8-step puzzle to get a piece of food. They figure it out. They can use tools, they can remember human faces for years, and they can even plan for the future, storing a tool they know they will need later. This level of foresight is incredibly rare in the animal kingdom. Like apes and dolphins, they have complex social lives, they form long-term bonds, they play, and they communicate with a wide variety of calls. They can even mimic sounds, including human speech. They are constantly watching, learning, and adapting. If a raven sees another raven solve a puzzle, it can learn how to do it just by observing. That's social learning at its finest. In a world without humans, ravens would have a massive advantage: flight. They can cover huge distances, easily accessing new resources and escaping local dangers. While land-based animals might be stuck in one area, ravens can survey the entire landscape from above. They would be the ultimate explorers and scouts of a post-human Earth. Our abandoned world would be a paradise for them. Our cities would become giant vertical cliff faces perfect for nesting. Our garbage would be an endless feast. And all the shiny things we left behind, ravens love shiny things. They would be the first to start collecting and experimenting with the remnants of our civilization. The big question for ravens, like for dolphins, is tool manipulation. They have beaks and feet which they use with surprising dexterity, but they don't have hands. This would make building complex structures difficult, but they are already expert tool users. The next evolutionary step would be tool making. Imagine a raven, over thousands of generations, learning not just to use a stick, but to sharpen it with its beak, or to bend a piece of wire to create a hook. These small steps, compounded over 1 million years, could lead to a sophisticated avian tool culture. They might not build cities of steel, but they could create intricate nests and tools from the materials we left behind. Their intelligence is their key to everything. In a changing world, the smartest animals win. Ravens are generalists, they can eat almost anything and live almost anywhere. This adaptability, combined with their problem-solving skills, would make them incredible survivors. They wouldn't just survive, they would thrive. They could become the information brokers of the new world. With their ability to fly everywhere and communicate complex ideas, they could develop a planet-spanning network. They could observe what the evolving apes are doing in Africa, what the ants are building in South America, and share that information with other ravens. Knowledge is power, and ravens would be perfectly positioned to gather it. Team Raven is the intelligence and mobility contender. They combine the smarts of an ape with the freedom of flight. They might not be the strongest or the most numerous, but they could be the cleverest. Their path to dominance would be through outsmarting everyone else, using their bird's-eye view to play the long game and slowly but surely establish their reign from the skies. So there you have it. 5 incredible species, 5 completely different paths to ruling a future Earth. The intelligent apes, the acoustic dolphin empire, the alien octopus overlords, the unstoppable ant collective, and the cunning raven regency. Each one has a shot, but only one can come out on top in our million-year challenge. This is probably the hardest decision ever, and I honestly can't pick a winner. The apes seem like the safe bet, but the octopuses are the wild cards that could change everything. But now I need to know what you think. After seeing all the evidence, which animal gets your vote? Who do you think would be sitting on the throne of planet Earth in 1 million years? Let me know in the comments section right now. I'm serious, scroll down and tell me your pick and why. And don't forget to smash that like button if you had your mind blown today, and hit subscribe and turn on notifications because you are not going to want to miss the videos we have coming up next. And hey, if you love crazy what-if scenarios like this one, you should check out the Brightside Podcast on Spotify. We go deep on all sorts of insane topics just like this. Find the Brightside Podcast, give it a listen, and if you love it, please leave us a positive review. It helps us out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.